Hello and welcome to a 3D tutorial brought to you by Thrasos Media. My name is Zach Heimbichner, and today I want to go over the Moves by Maxon app and how I was able to successfully get files from my iOS device onto my computer. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go into my phone. I have an iPhone 12 Pro, and I want to open up the Moves by Maxon app. This can be found on the App Store for free, and you can download it, log into your Maxon credentials, and you'll have options. So first I want to show you the face captures, the body captures. We'll briefly take a look at the object captures, but I am noticing in my version 26 I don't have an object capture import option. So it feels to me like perhaps that is either being discontinued or maybe there's a workaround that if anyone knows how to get that into Cinema, that'd be greatly appreciated in the comments. So the first thing I want to go over is the face capture. So this is a little animation that, or a little 18-second face capture that I did in my basement. I just did a very straightforward, straight-on shot. Did a little bit of testing, kind of seeing how I could get a little bit of the contours of my face there. Nothing too crazy. The Maxon app natively captures at 30 frames per second, and my body capture that I did, I just did a little movement in my living room, but unfortunately, the Maxon app didn't give me a preview of what that motion was. So in order to properly know what I did or how I did it, I'd very much have to label it accordingly. So that's just a little food for thought on that one. My object capture, I did two object captures. The first one was of this little Bissell Pro cleaner, and I did about eight images. But when I looked at the information, it actually recommended trying to do a lot more images for a lot more accuracy at different angles. So I did that, which made a lot of sense. I feel like they're using the photo telemetry to try to create 3D meshes, and the more pictures of the object, the better. So then I went over here to my Cinema 4D window. I'm already logged in with my credentials, and on my computer, I'm logged in with those same credentials. Now, when I go into my computer, I'll go over here to my extensions selection. I'll go to Moves by Maxon, and it'll open up a window for Moves by Maxon. It currently says no connection, waiting for device connection on port 61440. I have my announce service to local network set up. I have on my phone and the settings, I've set it to allow my app to be viewable on the local internet. And I followed a lot of the instructions online to make sure that everything would sync up correctly. So going back to my phone, I come over here and I hit connect. Now, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be seeing, but all I do see is a white screen. I click around on it, I do different things, nothing's happening. It's very unfortunate. And I know in previous tutorials for older versions, I think Cinema 4D are 21 and older, it says you can come here to the top right, hit this little QR code button, and then in this Moves by Maxon window, there should be a QR code that would generate, and that is how you would establish that handshake. Unfortunately, there is no QR code here on the window, so I am forced to explore a workaround on this one, and that's what we're all doing here today. So under my face captures, I'm going to say, I like this face capture. I want to send this to my PC. Well, the way we do that is we go ahead and send all images. It will create a zip file, and then it will ask you how you want the zip file to be delivered. Because I have a MacBook, I personally prefer the AirDrop option. It's very quick, it's very easy. If you do not have a Mac, you can always mail it to yourself. There are Gmail options, Outlook options. You can save directly to Dropbox, save to your files, and then sync later. Lots of options for how you can get that done. So in this case, I just select the AirDrop feature. I find it, I hit it, and then I go over to my downloads. That's where it captures it, and I see it downloading. Now I didn't record it. I didn't record my MacBook because I'm on my PC for this record, but I am able to then take that file from my downloads, put it on my Dropbox, and then I can keep working. So I do the same thing with my. Oops, sorry. Go back into here. I'll do the same thing with my body capture. I'll do that, hit the little share button, choose my method of transportation, and life is good. Now, I can do that with this object. Like if I go here to my large object here, I can hit the share. It'll do the zip as well. But because over here on my computer side, I only have the face capture and I only have the body capture tabs, it really doesn't do me much good to focus on that for this particular tutorial. So now I'm going to come over here into my Dropbox where I have stored my body capture 1, my face capture 2, and my object 1 zip. In order to get these into Cinema 4D, I will grab my face capture, make sure I'm on my face capture tab, and then I will just drag it on over. There we go. Boom. Now I have my face capture right there in Cinema. Come over here to body capture. I'll do the same. So now I have these in my Moves by Maxon library. If these files were to ever get deleted, which I won't do, but if they were, these files are stored locally in your program files in a special location. So it does have its own internal library, which is very handy. So now let's get to the fun part. I'm going to say, okay, I don't want this window getting in the way of what I'm doing, so I'm just going to go ahead and dock it over here. I'm going to minimize this no connection window because we know that's not plain nice. And now I'm going to say, well, I have this library. I want to see it on my actual work plane. So I double click on my face capture to start. It imports it as a smaller mesh. I hit H to better zoom in on everything. And now when I hit my little play button, I can see that not only is it playing some custom animation, but it has tried to do a pretty decent job of texturing the mesh on, or mesh, material, adding a material to the mesh that's of my skin and a little bit of my beard. So now I'm noticing that's not my full animation. I did a lot more in our example. So I'm going to up my timeline from 90 to 390. And now I can see it's populated some fake eyeballs. It's got my face there. Doesn't have teeth, probably better that way. But now I can kind of see more of the entirety of it. Now I wonder what happens if I just go here like 330. I think there might be a little bit extra going on there. Yeah, there we go. So actually, if I do a little quick calculation here, I'm just going to say 30 seconds times 18, because I think it's actually close to 18 seconds, 540. There we go. So now it's just going to, actually it's a little closer to 400, but that's okay. Neither here nor there, but it's a really cool way to say, hey, I've got some quick motion capture. It's not perfect. It would take a little bit of finessing to really see what's going on there, and it uses the video as the material. So if you ever wanted to take that away, let's say I said, nope, I want a clean mesh. I want something that's a little less, deep fake and a little bit more obviously 3D. You can do that, and that's pretty darn cool. So now I'm going to say, well, that's all well and good, but let's take a look at my motion capture. Now I know my motion capture is a little bigger, so I'm going to, or I'm sorry, a little longer, so I'm going to say 630 frames, roughly. Now I come over here to my body capture. I'm going to double click on it, and you'll notice instead of giving me a mesh, it gives me a rig. So you can apply this rig to an actual model, and you can turn off the plane, and then you can hit play. And now you can see, does a little T-pose, little hands in the air, leg up. Now, this is a far from perfect motion capture since it's only a single view capture using pictures. But if you're trying to do at-home motion capture, this is a lot faster than going in and hand keying everything from scratch. And you spend you spend less time doing the cleanup as opposed to more time doing everything from scratch. So it's pretty darn cool. It's a very cool app. It's a very cool integration into Cinema 4D, and I love the fact that if you want to work on one at a time, you can have multiple projects. You can have both of them in the same thing, and yeah, lots of interesting ways to kind of have some fun with a pretty straightforward app. Now, one thing I did for fun, I went ahead and I opened up my body capture. I followed all the rigs all the way down until the nose joint, and I went ahead and I just took my face capture and put it on the body. So it's as we mentioned before, far from perfect as far as MoGraph, but as you can see, in a very short amount of time, I'm able to get kind of an idea of what some sort of pre-visualization would look like, what a little bit of the character animation would be like, and of course, if I had a model that I had properly designed for a human rig like this, I could just attach that to this rig and just start my cleanup process with the animation keys on the individual pieces here. So this is how I've discovered how to use the Move by Maxon app without a direct connection to my computer, and it seems like it's still very powerful. If anyone has any tips or tricks on how to do the object capture or how to connect the phone directly to the PC or to the Mac version of Cinema 4D version 26, that insight and that help would be greatly appreciated. If for some reason that's just not applicable right now, it's good to know that there are workarounds. So thank you for tuning in to this quick little tutorial, and look forward to seeing everyone in the next one.